Hello folks, I'm Mel Colby, Extension Horticulture Specialist for the North Carolina State College. Today I'd like to take you on a little tour through one of the peach packing plants in the Sand Hill area. This particular plant cost approximately $50,000 to construct, and this includes the equipment. The Sand Hill counties, Anson, Moore, Richmond, Lee, and Anson, do produce most of the peaches in the Sand Hill area. And today we'll start through this trip here. The peaches are loaded off this four-wheel trailer, rubber tire trailer with springs, bringing them in to keep down the bruising, put on this endless belt, draw it on up here, and notice how they are dumped to this automatic dumper. They land on this soft belt, and the empty crate then is uprighted, sent out on an endless belt out to the trailer, which will return the empty crates to the orchard. Continue on down the belt, they come to a leaf eliminator. Here the leaves and other scraps are taken out, carried to a dump truck in the basement. Peaches continue on up this grading table where these four women are removing anything that's poor, bad peaches. And the peaches progress right on into the wet washer. Just look at those peaches coming through there, 500 bushels an hour. They've come through the wet brush, the nylon brushes which have cleaned them. They're on now on foam rubber rollers. They continue on to a grader. Here they're graded for size. The real small ones drop to a belt below and taken into an eliminating crate. The others continue on down an inspection table. Here the girls are taking out the overripes which go on the lower belt and the seconds which go on the upper belt. Both are separated, and the peaches continue on their way to that consumer package you're going to see a little bit later. As the peaches continue on their journey through this packing shed, they come to another grader, and here they are graded into 2 1/4 inches under and 2 1/4 inches over. Those under go to the left down the packing line, those over on these two belts are continued down on this endless belt. And these girls are making rings. What is a ring? A ring is the top. It will be the top part of a 1/2 bushel basket, a 3/4 bushel basket, or a bushel basket. These girls select peaches which are good quality, highly colored, and face the color part down on this rubber mat in the ring. It's no trick at all to pick out the peaches for these, because almost all of these peaches are highly colored and they are very pleasant to look at. This is the top. This is the cream of the basket, the part that you look at when you take off the top. The peaches in the bottom part of the basket are equally as good. It's just a nice way of arranging the peaches for a little more appeal. The girls have filled these rings, and you see these beautiful peaches are moving down this endless belt. Our next step will be to come past the place where the tub is put over. The boys are putting liners in the tubs. This piece of paper not only helps to protect the peaches, but helps the grower in holding the peaches in the container until it is actually filled. As these move on down this line, they come to an automatic filler. This filler fills by weight, and the peaches are run in there until the tub is filled. It's awfully noisy at this particular place, and I'm going to let you hear just for a minute just how noisy it will be at that place. Those represent the volume that's being shipped now, and these will continue on to the next operation. Next time you go down and change a fuse in your electrical outlet, think about the switch boxes and other electrical equipment we have in this particular packing shed. Just take one good look here. We really do have it. Each one of these boxes controls some part of this machinery. You can see it will take almost a graduate engineer to come in here and keep this equipment running and know exactly where these lines go. The tub was filled with peaches by weight, and here we see boys taking off this tub, placing the tub up on the endless belt, sending it back to be refilled. Now you see the purpose of that paper. It holds those peaches in place until the wooden container, which is on the line up there, is put on. This is one of the most important parts of peach packing. You can understand now why the ring was made earlier and why it was put in this fashion. Notice we put the lids on those bushels lids on. They're coming up the elevator here. They continue on through into an automatic turner. This is really saving a lot of labor. I can remember back when we used to put these on and have to turn them by hand. Notice that basket going through there? It is turned over, right side up. As it comes along then, the boy removes the ring and sends it back. It goes on back to be redone. Notice those beautiful peaches going on up the elevator onto the hydrocooler. What is a hydrocooler? Hydrocooler is a water cooler. I'll explain that a little bit more to you. This particular machine is approximately 40 feet long. It's running ice water over these peaches. Notice as they go in there, they're in fine shape. As they come out the other end, they're still in fine shape. This piece of equipment is one of the most important pieces of equipment in the peach packing operation. It has made peach packing of riper peaches possible. As we look back over the operation here now, we've come through almost 200 feet of line here, coming in from the beginning, running on through the different phases here, the grading, the sizing, making the rings, filling the tubs, putting the basket on, the automatic turner, and on up to the hydrocooler. This is some of the most important part of the peach operation. Wait a minute. Putting in approximately 125 pound of ice here, which is chewed up, ground up, and used for cooling this hydrocooler. This particular ice is ground up and runs along the tray on the side of this hydrocooler and slipped back in. You notice these boys are taking ice out of this trailer truck. Brought in here. Takes approximately 45,000 pounds of ice per day to run this plant on 10 hours. Now this is a very important operation here because we do need the ice. We like to keep the water in this hydrocooler at approximately 36 degrees. Peaches take approximately 20 minutes to run through. When they come out the other end, we expect to have a temperature of about 45 degrees. As I mentioned earlier, this is important. This makes it possible for us to ship riper peaches longer distances and put them on the shelf in still better condition than we ever have before. Here we are at the other end of this hydrocooler. These peaches have now had a 20-minute ride through here at water approximately 36 degrees. We're hoping these peaches are down to 45 degrees. Boys are hooking these with those long hooks, pulling them back up onto this roller. The girl that you see here is checking the ring to make sure that they have not been distorted too much, pushing them into place if they need be, or replacing a piece that may have been damaged somewhere in the operation. As we continue on down the line then, the boys here are taking lids and a liner. This top pad and the lid has come up from the basement. Most of this material is stored in the basement. It's brought up here on this endless belt. You notice the first boy puts it in the one end of the handle. The other boy brings up the side wire and fastens that. This is almost a line operation here. As these baskets are coming from the hydrocooler, and we've seen them putting the lid on earlier, it continues on. Here we are hooking the ends. The girls are stamping. The one girl stamps the grower's name, the other is stamping the grade. These happen to be 2 1/4 inches and up. The baskets continue on. You notice everything in this shed has been as automatic as possible. They're continuing on. They're headed for the big trailer truck, which will take them to the wholesale market. As they go into the trailer truck, you can see they are being stacked the best way possible so they will not crush too much in transit. This particular truck, they tell me, destination 700 or 800 miles from here. It's a refrigerated truck. Keep these peaches cool. They were cooled in the hydrocooler and keep them cool until they reach you as the ultimate consumer. Next time you see North Carolina Sandhill peaches, you can think back to all the different operations that it takes to just purely grade and pack those peaches and give you a high quality product which you find in the store. Whether you buy these peaches at the store or at the roadside stand or at the orchard, they're still a good quality product. Of course, the operation that you've seen today is just one of the phases of peach growing. You need to remember, so a lot of hours goes into the production of crop. From the time that the growers start to worry in the spring about frost, all the operations in the orchard that needs to be done to produce peaches such as you've seen today all add up to making this industry one of the more profitable fruit industries we have in the state. Hope that as you enjoy your fresh peaches, your canned peaches, your pickled peaches, and the peaches from your freezer, you will remember that those Sandhill peaches didn't just grow. They had a lot of attention in growing. Thank you, and hope you will continue to enjoy those North Carolina peaches.